Begin transmission.
Now, we all know that the holidays are one of the most nostalgia-heavy times of the year, and I'm susceptible just like anybody else. You know what brings a tear to my eye around this time? I start thinking about the NWA circa the mid-'80s, you know, that 85 to 89 range. And I'm not talking about Dr. Dre and Eazy-E, although they were awesome too, obviously. Now, I'm talking about the National Wrestling Alliance. And if you were into that kind of thing when you were a kid, you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Four Horsemen, you know, Ric Flair, the Freebirds, Dusty Rhodes, Nikita Koloff, Magnum TA. And that may seem like a weird thing to harp on this season, but I realized today that was the last time I truly believed in something besides entropy and cynicism. So, if you're one of the lost cynics like me, maybe that should be our New Year's resolution for 2010. Find something new to believe in. Now, despite the fact that I like to keep Kill the Feed apolitical, one of my absolute favorite topics to bitch about is media allocation. And you'll find that very often these two topics tend to intersect, like in this next rant. Because I was watching a very well-known, very respected news network the other day, I won't say which one, and the newscaster happened to mention how they were in day five of the coverage of the Tiger Woods scandal. And I couldn't help but think that with the fact we just sent 30,000 more troops to Afghanistan, I can't remember the last time that story, that scandal, that controversy got 5 continuous days of coverage on any news network. In fact, I don't think it's ever gotten 5 continuous days of news coverage. I want to institute a rule, alright, when it comes to these celebrity scandals. If you are not actively masturbating to thoughts of said celebrity fucking, you are not allowed to be emotionally invested in who they are fucking. So if you subscribe to this podcast, chances are you're a geek, which means you love The Big Bang Theory. And even if you're not a geek, you should still love The Big Bang Theory, because despite the fact it's a sitcom, the writing and the cast are stellar, an increasingly rare thing on television these days. So you should be ecstatic to learn that The Big Bang Theory drew its biggest ratings ever this past week, due largely in part to the fact that the other networks decided to preempt shows like House and Lie to Me for a Carrie Underwood special, and replace Dancing with the Stars with the even worse reality show Find My Family. Now that, kids, is what we call entropic degeneration, the breakdown of a system, a process that began in television with the great exodus away from scripted programs involving writers and generally creative people towards this half-baked, half-scripted faux reality crap. Not only do they not see the value in that creativity anymore, they can't even recognize what passes for quality in this pseudo-genre they've created. I'd be totally fucking depressed if The Big Bang Theory didn't provide one bright spot in this abomination. It gives me a small grain of hope. And this is the season for hope, after all. Blind people like a good story, too. That's why next week in Geneva, the World Intellectual Property Organization is meeting to discuss a treaty that would allow novels and other written materials to be more freely imported and exported in formats accessible to the blind and people with other disabilities that would prevent them from enjoying shit like that. Now, this is something that myself and a lot of people I know support. Journalists, novelists, all different kinds of writers. There's a petition online that you can sign. Cory Doctor, I'll put it on Boing Boing. I'll have a link to it in the show notes. Now, before any of you internet piracy fanatics get after me about, oh, do you want a publisher to be able to put out a Braille version of your book and not pay you for it? No, jackass. I want to make my money just like anybody else. But dude, they're blind people. For fuck's sake, will you get over it? Just don't tell Harlan Ellison, because he'll start hunting the disabled like they're hackers. And on an unrelated topic, no, I don't think this is a gay thing to have on your wall. And even if it was, so what? I'm Matt Wallace, and it's time for you to deal out the gut shots. Alright, kids, it is brand new feature time here on Kill the Feed. We have initialized what we are calling the gut shot call-in line. That is a phone line that you can hit up to rant about whatever you want to rant about for a change. You can also leave a comment, ask a question, whatever you want. It's up to you, because we decided I shouldn't be the only one who gets to just yak endlessly about whatever bullshit is on my mind. We want you, our loyal subscribers, our loyal viewers, our loyal listeners, to be able to as well. So the number is 830-GUTSHOT. Is that swank or what? Come on, give it to me. So hit up the Gutshot call-in line, leave a message, leave a comment, leave a rant. You can literally go off on whatever you want to, and if it's good enough, if it makes the cut, you might find yourself here on Gutshots next week.
Transmission ends.